Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am the very sloppy Mitch English, and I spilled my
Clean
water.
up on aisle 5.
And I got it on. Thank goodness those things waterproof.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Hey everybody, I'm Mitch English. Welcome to Daily Flash! Where we started off with a splash.
I like
yeah,
that.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's why I did it.
That's right.
I like it.
And what's
my
up with
gosh.
these? What's up with these rats?
I don't
brought some
know.
more napkins just in case.
thank you.
I ran out.
Thank you very much. Sweet baby James with the napkin
Yes.
working the floor. How are you, James?
I am great. I am, I am running to get that, so I was not ready for
Okay.
my
Thank
word
you.
of the day.
Oh, that's all right.
But I got a word of the day for you.
What is it?
All right, the word of the day is
Prepared.
Yeah, fatuous.
Factuous, which
Fatuous.
means
Devoid of intelligence.
Fatuous.
Fatuous.
There are days where I feel fatuous.
Didn't you date a girl named Fatuous?
Yeah, man, thinking, she was a little person too.
Right, that would have been.
I told Andrea, I said, drag it that wagon,
I'm
baby.
proud of that. All right, to my right.
OnlyFans page.
Exactly. Stay away from
I'll
that.
let you search
We're
it
gonna
on
go
your
for
own.
that. Okay, so you can see some fatuous
Matting.
content on our website at
No, you cannot.
dailyflashshow.com.
Shut up, Matt.
No, it's all pure content, especially when Mitch and I start breaking stuff in the back
That's
room.
the fatty you're going to see.
You can go on there, find all of our social media links on there, and send us your comments about fatuousnesses at dailyflashshow.com.
James,
I can't with this.
I want you to start using those in an actual sentence instead of today. I feel yada yada. That's not a real
It's not a
sentence.
real sentence.
I don't know. How you doing, Jackson?
I'm good. We touched on this a little bit on one of the shows the other day. Bathroom space for couples.
Like having our own yada yada.
Most of the fights couples have, or a lot of the irritation comes in sharing spaces, and the bathroom is the number one space that couples fight over. Not enough counter space, too much counter space. Where's my sink? Why can't I have my own sink? You're in the toilet too long. I don't like the way you do the shower thing.
Makes sense.
I mean, so they're saying the best option for couples is to have separate bathrooms.
I agree
Agreed.
wholeheartedly.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
So the counter space is really the big fighting point, because for women, we got a bazillion different products. We got them on the counter. Some people fight over having one sink or two sinks. Men like one sink because it gives you more counter space.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Women want two sinks, but the problem with that is you lose counter space.
Which makes I
Yeah.
can understand that. And we ours. There is no count. It's just a sink thing.
Yeah.
There's no place for me to, except on the windowsill. So I have to put everything down. And luckily, it's just me and Enzo that they're in this one shower. But she always complains about you guys. You need to clean up in there. and
Dude
everything.
shower.
So to circumvent that, that's why
Yeah.
I'm fine with having our. I just think it works best.
I do think
already.
you lose a little romance when
And
you're sharing
100%
space
too.
like that, right?
But it is okay, and not to go too personal, but it is
Yes.
something special when you get invited over to the shower.
Yeah. Oh, you get an invite
I
to
get
the
an
shower.
invite. Anyway, yeah, but the problem is she's got a smaller shower. Like our shower is bigger, and I'm fine with it being smaller.
Yeah.
You know? It's just
I have a hang up too. So like even if we if my wife and I go on vacation and I have my daily constitutional, I'll go to the lobby.
Me too. High five.
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
I think
I think that's what I should
no.
do.
You should.
She
Yes.
don't eat, I eat a she's vegan
Not
and
in
I
the
eat a high
middle,
protein
in the lobby
diet.
bathroom.
No, he's what I'm
I'm
saying
with
because
you,
that's
Matt.
the whole room's there,
Yes,
man.
No, you don't need that.
You have
Yeah.
a suite or whatever. That's a
No,
different
she's
thing.
vegan. I eat high protein stuff. You don't need that.
You need separate bathrooms.
And we're probably going down the road. We'll edit this out, I'm sure. First marriage, never once were we in the same bathroom that has ever happened. If
Okay.
you know what we're talking
Yes,
about, taking care of stuff. And it is a weird experience to have that after I was with my first wife for 30 years.
Door open or closed?
Hers is open.
Wide open.
Oh
and-
no,
Oh,
no,
Now, she
No,
closes
no,
it
no,
now, but like if like
No.
the whole walking in thing, she
Oh,
learned really
yeah.
quick. That's I think of a guy. It's a private time,
Leave the
right?
magic.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
got to be some magic
Has
there.
to be a
I
little
don't need
magic.
to know your process.
Little magic left.
I think that says a lot about her. Hers is like, I share everything. And there's studies that say that the couples that have no problems with bodily functions in front of each other actually get along better because but to me, it is a whole new concept.
Yeah.
It's easy stuff, man. It is what it is. I mean,
We all
I'm
do
okay
it, right?
with her having 2 bathrooms. As long as she cleans up both of them, we're okay.
Oh, James.
Oh, James.
As long as Fat Tuss cleans up.
Comment.
Matt had one time, he had given me a book that really helped out my life. And it explains all that. It's called Everybody Poops. And I said, Matt, this is for children.
Look,
and he goes, I know, it's out of my personal library. Can I have that back?
Look, I've traveled with you enough and had you open the door at the wrong time a couple times, and it's not pleasant.
I've cleaned out hotel rooms.
Yeah, no, and I even when him and I travel, I'm like, I'm going to the lobby.
We're like, can we move to another room next, please?
Get your own.
You say the bodily functions, if 2 couples are okay with that kind of stuff, it can make them stronger. However, I have heard this, that when a man watches a woman give birth, watches the whole thing happen, 90% of those marriages do not last. And I don't know what it is. Yes.
I can tell you what it is, because you don't want to be down there ever again.
Yes.
No.
Hey, didn't the Wizard of Oz get ruined when the curtain went back?
Yes,
in
it did.
Look,
Yes.
look, I've seen 2
Curtain.
come out naturally.
Great choice
in the
of
other
words.
C-section. Not a problem. Easy stuff.
Not a problem. All right.
You gotta have,
Get us out of this quickly.
turn.
Let's talk about some trending stories here. Wild video of a car zigzagging out of control while being towed backwards on a busy Texas highway. I said backwards because it's in Texas. The driver could be seen laughing while taking video of herself while the passenger is paralyzed with fear. 32-year-old Dante Brown inside the blue sedan as it whips around through traffic while being pulled by a white SUV, which is driven by his girlfriend. Now that's how couples stay together.
That's how it works.
Police say that Brown and his girlfriend came up with the plan because, well, they didn't have money for a tow truck. They chained the car to the axle. That car caused it to go out of control. These are questions. These are things that can be solved in the bathroom, everybody.
Yes, that is true.
This is called go to YouTube and figure out how to do this right.
Yeah. So chaining up the back tire axle to the rear of your car, probably not the best option if you're looking for a cheap tow.
Look at that.
Money they're paying
Now to fix it.
Oh, the tires are gone, the brakes are gone, the axle's gone.
You know what? If you are going to tow a car with a rope, first off, don't do it backwards. But always remember, and there's no joke here, is that the person behind is the one that controls the braking. Because what happens is, if like you're being pulled, let's say you're pulling a car, and the person in front of you stops, well, now, you're still going. So allow the person behind you, if you're being towed, which you probably shouldn't be doing anyway, but hit the brakes and let the other person, that lets the other person know you're slowing down, and both of you will slow down at the same time.
Now,
that's just weird.
Don't they have like the roadway rescue crews?
Oh yeah, you see the signs all the time.
Yeah, could they have not helped this couple out?
Why back? 100% had to be. Yeah.
They could have put it on a U-Haul car trailer, and it would have been cheaper than towing.
The other twist of this story is Dante, the passenger, had an active warrant out for his arrest. So once the cops pulled this duo over, the girlfriend was laughing and videotaping herself while driving, mind you, the SUV, towing the car. So she didn't see anything wrong with it. Now, I don't know if she's gotten a ticket or what she's getting charged with, but she likely will get charged with something. Dante, of course, went to the
When I pay my
station.
$300 a month insurance,
Yeah.
thank you, Dante.
Exactly.
Thank you. You're the reason why.
A Yellowstone National Park tourist was gored by a bison when he got too close to the animal. The 47-year-old man from Florida was hooked by the bison's horns and lifted up off the ground, but escaped with a few scrapes and bruises. The visitor had the encounter in an area near Yellowstone Lake in Wyoming. Park officials said the animals can be aggressive when people don't give them enough space, and they are unpredictable.
Yeah.
They can also run 3 times faster than humans. At least 2 people were gored by bison at the park last year. Bison will defend their space when threatened and have wounded more people in Yellowstone than any other animal.
Except Taylor Sheridan is the only one who didn't get hurt from that.
Bison going to bison. Bison doing bison business.
Right? And you're talking, this thing's a tank, and I think people don't realize that. You know, one thing I love about bisons that they could teach us a lot about is that when a storm comes, they run towards the storm because you go through the storm faster. It's kind of like the same story about pulling a car, right? Almost the same thing. But that's so I always thought about that. Go towards your adversity, you'll go through it faster.
Most of these incidents happen to people who are trying to take selfies or video with them and the bison. And that's what happens when wild animals go wild.
And what always stinks about that is that the animal, like if it does that, it will be shot and killed or whatever. Like, well, it's a danger. No, you were the danger, so we should shoot and kill you. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea.
Some would argue that point, yes.
I agree.
Some could justify that.
Talking when we return about eating healthier, and we all want to do that.
We do,
Summer months,
yes.
it seems like we kind of change the way we eat a little bit. We try somewhat. We're going to talk about that and how it can help you out when we return.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, we all love to eat, right? Our next guest has a new book out called Just That, Eat. It's a guide to understanding how food and amino acids can be used to treat food addictions and reduce your cravings. Joining us now is author and mental health nutritionist Christine Veselak. Hi, Christina. Welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you so much for having me.
So you say that going too long without food can lead to depression, anxiety, irritability, even violence. Why is this?
Well, because when our blood sugar drops, and our blood sugar can drop either because we've gone too long between meals, missed 1 or 2 meals, or because we've had a high sugar meal, blood sugar goes up and then blood sugar goes down. Well, it can go down too fast and too far. And whenever it goes down too far or too fast, adrenaline kicks in. And adrenaline, while raising blood sugar back up to where it should be, keeps us from dying. That's a good thing. Adrenaline brings some nasty friends with it. Okay. For some people, it can make us really anxious all the way to panic. Other people, it can make us irritable and reactive all the way to violence, domestic violence, child abuse, this impulsive stuff that we don't think about ahead of time, but all of a sudden we've just lost control.
I know a lot of people refer to it as hangry. Sometimes they get hungry and they get angry, and we call it getting hangry. How can we avoid the blood sugar drop?
I have found in my work with people, and this is people with depression and anxiety, but also with violence and with addictions of all sorts, not just food addiction, but cocaine and alcohol and cannabis, etc., that if we eat 20 grams minimum of protein. Some people like to eat a lot more protein. Some people can get away with a little less. But eating protein every 3 to 4 hours, really, really consistently, like clockwork, will keep our blood sugar very stable for most people, and therefore allow our mood and our energy and our brain to stay very stable as well.
You mentioned protein. What are some other foods that maybe we should be eating to stave off the hangry or the irritability?
Well, protein is the backbone. So fish, chicken, tofu, beans, but the animal proteins are best at this, or a good quality protein shake or a good quality protein bar, that doesn't have a whole lot of added crap to it. We don't like crap.
Yeah, we don't like crap.
Well, I mean, we love crap, right?
Well, we do.
It's designed for us to love it, but it's not very good for us.
This is true.
But eating it every 4 hours, along therefore with other real food, unprocessed food, whole food, your whole grains, your, a few fruits, but not too many, lots of vegetables. Everybody kind of has their own ratio of what feels best for their body, but we need that protein to give our brain the chemicals it needs to mediate our mood. See, we never talk about the brain, but we've known for decades the nutrients the brain needs for us to be emotionally well, for us to be behaviorally well. Never ever talked about. But once you give the brain those nutrients, all of a sudden it works. And when it works, we work. And when we work, we're happy.
This is true. Christine, let me ask you this, because this kind of flies in the face of this whole intermittent fasting trend we're seeing. Let's talk about it. Is it good? Is it good for everyone? Is it only good for some people?
It's great for some people, and it's really bad for other people. And the way you know if it's right for you is if at the end of your fasting window, you're still okay, you're still stable, you're still calm, you're still happy. And when you start eating, when your eating window opens up, you choose the right foods for yourself. That is great. But so many people don't. By the end of their window, they're irritable, they're angry, they're reactive, they're starving, they can't wait to eat. And then when they eat everything in sight and they make really poor food choices.
Yeah, it's sort of like waking up and just eating a whole bunch of carbs, and then you feel horrible the rest of the day. Christine, this has been great information. And for more information on Christine and how to get a copy of her book, Eat, please visit eatforrecovery.com or head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Mitch, we'll send it over to you.
Well, I thank you very much there, Jackson. This story I think is great. There is a mom who just, sometimes people kind of, nothing ever holds them back. A blind mother actually has graduated from college with honors alongside her guide dog, rather. The 47-year-old crossed the stage to accept her degree from Tennessee Tech University. Now listen, she started her college journey about 30 years ago, but she had to postpone her studies when she had a baby right out of high school. She eventually returned to higher education, but in 2020, she suffered from years of progressive vision loss, ironically 2020. Determined to regain her independence, she enrolled in an 8-month program at the Center for the Blind. She then enrolled at Tennessee Tech, and when you hear stories like this, it's like, you have no excuses. If you want something, you can get it. And so big congratulations to her. I'm sure she is the pride of not only the school, but also for her family as well. So good to see that.
Good for her.
Yeah.
This is another good one. A New York City doorman is the talk of the town right now. He is the internet's latest obsession. Videos are going viral showing him singing, dancing, and hyping up a tenant in his Brooklyn building. Wilby Martinez showers tenants with compliments as they walk through the lobby. His sweet golden retriever energy, as they call it, went viral, prompting a brand manager tenant to change her TikTok bio to, "You're probably here for the doorman." His popularity is apparent in the comment section of videos where women gush over his dimples, his nervous energy, his slightly crooked tie. As for Martinez, all he wants is a friendly smile from the residents of his building.
And to come home to that, too, if you think about it, to come home to that, you're like, all right, you're in a good mood. How can your mood not change when you see somebody happy, right?
Just a slight shift.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
I love those stories. We love you, and we'll have more right after this. Furry Friends.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle.
Hey,
and
Matty.
this is your furry friends for the week. Well, not all of our furry friends are, furry, but some of our animal friends can be with us for decades, and this one is leaving the world with Chubb's hand in its mouth. Morris the alligator was best known for chomping off the hand of Chubbs in Happy Gilmore. The gator recently passed away at the rightful age of 80-something, which I didn't even know gators lived that long. His handlers said the 9-foot, 640-pound reptile died of natural causes at the Colorado Gator Farm. In a twist of movie-worthy irony, Morris will now be taxidermied just like in the film so he can scare children for years to come. And with Happy Gilmore 2 coming out soon, I'm sure he'll make a Taxio.
Very nice. Instead of a cameo.
See what I did there?
And now he's back up there with Carl Weathers.
He's up there with Carl Weathers. Yeah. It's one of the most known gators of all time. So,
Is it odd that there's a gator farm in Colorado?
Yeah, there's one in Michigan too. Yeah, it's a little odd. All right, moving on. Your next furry friend is one of a feathered kind, and he made friends with a little boy named Otto. Move over, dogs and cats. A young boy in Australia has formed an unlikely bond with his best friend, a crow named Russell. 2-year-old Otto and the bird have become inseparable, with Russell often waiting at the window. The bird will then follow him on walks and even joins him on tricycle rides around the neighborhood. It's like the feathered sidekick we never knew we needed. So the funny thing is, though, his mom says that she never lets them hang out unsupervised, just proving that not everything in Australia wants to kill you.
Right.
Or does it?
Now we have to, since this is Russell Crowe, I get that.
Yeah, Russell the Crowe.
Later on, it's
I totally missed that.
It's gonna be 3 times the size next time we see it. Though keep that in mind.
And you can buy his girdle online in a few
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Does he have a random band?
My
too,
wife
that
and I
plays
were
it?
watching it. He
Russell
popped up in a
Crowe.
movie and he goes, "Oh, it's the big guy that we always watch." And I go, "Remember when he was
was
Gladiator?
yeah.
And now he plays that one part where it seems
He
like he
was
always has a
the,
cup of coffee in his hand in
Yes.
every movie from now
And
on.
he was the.
Look at James. Actually, it looks
Yeah,
like James.
he did,
Actually,
yes.
Come back
Sort
here.
of.
Look.
Come here.
Except he
Right
holds
here,
every picture I've seen of Russell Crowe. He holds it like this.
Yeah, like that.
Like
in
about
his
to
gut.
spill over.
That's Russell Crowe.
It's after that when he played the CEO of the cigarette company.
Yes.
The,
The Insider.
Yeah, Insider. Yes.
And when he played, what was it? The guy from Fox News.
Murdoch.
no,
Rupert
yeah.
Murdoch. Or not Rupert.
Not Murdoch. It was the other one.
Oh,
who was it?
gosh. No.
It was the guy that started Fox News. Oh, whatever. Anyway, but yeah.
was it
But you're right.
No,
He did play that.
Now he just plays happy fat guys.
They all look alike,
Yes.
right?
All those fat guys.
Hold
look
on.
alike.
That's a segue into our next
Yes.
story, okay?
Meet Elon Musk's so-called doppelganger. He's a singer from Luxembourg who claims he has an uncanny resemblance to the tech giant. 28-year-old Hugo One is often mistaken for Musk and says he gets stopped everywhere he goes. He says he's not crazy about the comparison.
does.
The strangers could not believe he was not Elon. Despite the unwanted attention, Hugo likes the way he looks and has no plans to change his appearance.
Is that the Paul brothers? That's their guys.
Oh, it is the Paul
is
brothers.
Is it, or is
I
it
think
just
it
guys
is.
that look like the Paul?
Maybe
This
they
is just
are.
one meta. I think they.
One doppelganger thing at a time.
I'm 100%
See,
sure.
that doesn't look like Elon. to
Eon
me.
has so many kids. That could be his child.
It could
we
be
don't
his
even.
child. We don't know.
Right?
You're right. It's so true.
Kid farm.
That would be aggravating.
I think he looks kind of like Elon, but I wouldn't say that
I would,
that's Elon.
yeah, you would, and when I'm sure once he starts talking, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
But it has to be annoying, especially now he's like kind of a political figure somewhat. He's
Yeah.
kind of turned into that, so he probably gets undue, people bothering him and
yeah.
that sort of thing. I hate people come at me all the time and like Steve Buscemi, right? And I'm like, no. I get that all the time.
Joey Pants.
Bo Burnham,
Bo
and
Burnham.
he's a comedian. Comedian. Jackson, you get anybody?
No, I don't get
Matt
anybody.
gets Burt Reynolds all the time, and then
Burt? There you go.
get Fat Ben Affleck.
Fat Ben Affleck.
Right.
And
All
then
right.
Nick, do you get
Nick,
anybody?
do you get anyone?
I thought he was the singer of a band called Attila when I first.
Attila?
Okay.
What in the world?
Well,
I get the guy from Office Space.
Oh, yeah,
Ron Livingston.
yeah,
I get
yeah,
that
yeah.
all the
I
time.
can
I
see
used
Ron
to get that.
Livingston.
When I was
Yes.
fat, I would get Kevin James all the time. And then Chris Farley. If you're a fat guy and tried to be funny, you were Chris
You're Chris
Farley.
Farley.
No
That is
matter
true.
what.
That's true.
And Jackson all the time, she gets Christy Brinkley.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right.
Old school Christy.
Old school Christy
She actually
Brinkley.
still looks good.
She does look really good. Yeah.
Instead
I
of a
just saw her
Ferrari,
on
she
an
drives a
interview.
tank.
She drives. Which Jackson?
Yeah, I did too. That's true.
All right, a California family accusing a funeral home of putting the wrong man in their loved one's casket. This one is a head shaker. A woman said her family traumatized when they arrived to say goodbye to their 80-year-old
Oh,
uncle,
gosh.
only to be greeted with another man wearing his clothes.
Oh boy.
Get this, when the family asked a worker there at the funeral home for help, the employee insisted that the stranger in the casket was her uncle. And it wasn't until she provided an actual picture of that that the employee admitted, oh yeah, we made the mistake.
Oh my
Hunt
goodness.
said it took 3 hours for the mortuary to make good so her uncle could be laid to rest. The mortuary has denied the claims, and they said that they are preparing to respond with their own legal action as well. No, I mean, you do look different. I think of my
Yes.
mother when she passed. She did not look like my mom. So I can
right.
kind of understand
Yeah,
it.
me too.
But don't they have toe tags for a reason?
I'm sorry, but I've been watching Mobland, and it seems like you need to know a good mortuary guy.
Well, just get a chainsaw, and you won't have to worry about it.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. We're so happy you're joining us this morning. Today, wherever you are, we've also got friends all across
Yeah,
the
we
nation
do.
and around the world. Matt Doolittle.
We love all of our viewers all over the world, from our streamers to the American Forces Network. Thank you all for your service. And of course, to the 219 great affiliates all over the country. You can head to dailyflashshow.com, click the Where to Watch tab to find out where you can find us. And today we are spotlighting our friends in Phoenix, Arizona on
yeah.
KKAX.
I love that.
hot
You know,
down there.
the thing I love in Phoenix, they call their airport the Sky Port. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Skyport, they call it?
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah.
I always think of that scene out of Arrested Development with when Jason Bateman's character shows up in Phoenix and he touches the door handle in July. He's like, oh, damn.
It's always nuts to me that it snows in Arizona, in Phoenix
Yeah.
every once in a while. And they're like, it's snowing here, and then it's
125 degrees.
That's
yeah.
insane. That type of weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it snows in Hawaii as well, up on the
sure
volcanoes.
does.
People forget about that. Tells you how high those mountains are there. Let's go down to Costa Rica, where capuchin monkeys. I say it correctly?
Capuchin, I think
Capuchin
so,
monkeys.
yeah.
They're starting to study it. They do this wild thing. They're kidnappers. They'll go and kidnap other monkeys, but other species of monkeys.
What?
And they're trying to figure out what the whole, and they don't do anything to them. They just kind of go kidnap them and kind of bring them into their own fold, and they don't really understand it. And they're trying to figure out why that they're doing this, and they're actually starting to, have they always done this, or is it doing more and more? Maybe to just kind of maybe make their tribe, I guess, or what you would call it, or a gaggle of monkeys, a barrel of monkeys. What is it called when you have a bunch of monkeys? A barrel of
barrel.
monkeys.
Sure,
Barrel
we'll go
works
barrel.
good.
We'll go
a barrel
barrel.
of monkeys.
Tribe.
Say, what was it? Will? A troop of monkeys.
Troop of monkeys. I know.
Random stuff.
I know, and so I love that he knows that. But even still, so they're trying to figure out why they do this, and have they always done it as well? They're starting to see an increase of these capuchin monkeys steal other species of monkeys and bring them into their own tribe. Weird, huh?
So what do they do with those other monkeys that they steal?
That they
from
bring them in,
it?
they bring them into the fold, and I don't. Maybe it might be part of like natural selection, somewhat. Like maybe they need to repopulate. That's what they're trying to figure out.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So it happens everywhere.
Ew. Wild video shows a car zigzagging out of control while being towed backwards down a busy Texas highway. The driver could be seen laughing while taking video of herself, while her passenger is paralyzed with fear. 32-year-old Dante Brown is inside a blue sedan as it whips around through traffic while being pulled by a white SUV driven by his girlfriend. Police later said Brown and his girlfriend came up with the idea because they didn't have money for a tow truck. They chained the car to the back axle, which caused it to swing out of control. According to police, Brown was arrested for an active warrant out of Georgia. No word on reckless driving charges for the female behind the wheel, but apparently it will be coming. A lot of people who were on this freeway in Houston were calling 911 saying, you got to get out here because somebody's going to get hurt.
Oh, 100%.
If not the person in the blue sedan being towed, other cars and other drivers on the road. And I've never driven in Houston, but I understand that this is like one of the most treacherous roadways in the country.
Houston's horrible. It's 40 minutes to get anywhere, and driving there is insane. Their on-ramps and off-ramps make no sense.
You were just talking about that last week, about
it
Houston
looks
being
like
that
Fast
way.
and the Furious if you got it on Temu, though.
And at what point do you go, hey, we can figure this out?
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and, we'll just kind of, we'll pull over, regroup, and start over again. They don't even do that. Look at this.
No, you know what? Because the girlfriend's busy videoing herself and laughing while she's driving.
And here's the thing. It looks like this is a new, it must have been happening for a while because it looks like a helicopter's chasing them or whatever with the camera, which tells you that this did not just happen.
Just happened. Yeah, it'd been going on for quite some time.
This is a great idea.
Hey, babe, I got an idea.
Sometimes when you're a criminal, don't worry, they'll come to you, cops. And this is one of those situations.
You
It
know
might
what?
not be pretty, but
Proof that you need to make better choices in life.
100%. I'm
You
not,
know, maybe-
we don't know, but I'm feeling there's some kind of drug involved in that.
There could be,
Somebody
yes.
thinking that was a good
Hey,
idea.
they do have drive-through daiquiri stands in Houston, so that might
Do
be.
they?
Yeah, oh yeah, you can
Oh.
get them in the
That's
That
drive-through.
could
That's
explain
big
a
down
lot.
there.
Yep.
And they're bigger because everything's
Oh, they're
bigger.
huge, yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas. All right, we got more Flash coming up right around the corner. We love having you and hearing from you. Why don't you head to our website, dailyflashshow.com, click on the sound off button. We got more Flash right after this. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Yep, it's graduation season. All new grads are learning what adulting comes with its own set of challenges. Tech expert Jennifer Jolly has some great advice for us. Jennifer?
Thanks so much for having me. You know, grads are stepping into a financial minefield this year. So let's start with the very basics when it comes to all your technology. Internet prices. The average monthly internet bill in the United States, it's around $75, but a whole lot of people are paying way over $100 a month. So Total Wireless, well, we've teamed up with them to tell you about some of their great spring promotions, including an unlimited 5G home internet plan for just $35 a month. The best part, They lock you into a 5-year price guarantee here, so no surprise rate hikes, no crazy charges. Plus, there's no contract. Setup is a breeze, and the router is currently on sale for just under $25 as well. Another great deal. It's the kind of plan that actually saves you money compared to a lot of traditional home internet services where you're often looking at double or even triple that amount. Verizon value brands, well, they're offering some really sweet bundles right now too. That includes Total Wireless, Straight Talk, Visible, and a half dozen more. Starting May 28th, people who have both a Fios home internet plan, so check that box off, and then one of the value brands phone plans, you can save $15 a month on your home internet bill. That means right there, you check those 2 boxes, you can save $180 per year. And then if you auto pay, you use auto pay to pay that bill off every month, you can save another $10 per month for a whopping $300 per year. And you know what's really cool here? So I'm a reporter, so I thought, well, how many people can really qualify, get both of those? That deal is currently available to more than 1 million people right now, many who probably have no idea they can save that much on fast, reliable service and connectivity. You can find those deals online or in select stores starting in early June. Now, there's one more deal here that I want to tell you about. If you have the Visible plan, you can bring your own smartwatch. So let's say you already own a smartwatch or you get one as a graduation gift. You can bring that to Visible and activate it for free on their Plus Pro plan or for $10 a month on their base or Plus plans. This is all in. Again, this includes taxes, fees, no additional charges to activate anything. So it's a great way to get everything you want and you need with no sticker shock and no surprises. Overall, new grads, one last bit of advice here, do your research. Don't just jump on the first deal you see. For example, if you're looking for home internet, make sure you're in a strong coverage area for the service you're considering. Also, take a look at the bigger picture. With rising rent prices, student loan payments coming back, and just the overall cost of living being so high right now, saving $30 to $50 a month on your internet or phone plan can mean a huge difference in your budget. For more information, go to any of the Verizon Value Brands websites or my website at techish.com. Back to you.
So what do you do when you want to introduce one of the most anticipated gaming consoles ever? Well, in Nintendo's case, you hold a coast-to-coast celebration. Here's the story.
To celebrate its arrival, Nintendo hosted simultaneous bi-coastal events at Nintendo's New York and San Francisco stores, which was highlighted by burst sales occurring at the same time.
So we have built the Nintendo Switch 2 system from the ground up, and there are incredible new features, including new ways to play, like mouse control, as well as new ways to connect with each other through features like Game Chat, which allows you to chat to up to 12 people online while playing Nintendo Switch 2 together.
I'm really excited. I feel like everyone has been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time.
And now that we're going to have Mario Kart World, now we can play with everybody that we know. It's going to really bring our whole family together.
When I saw also the trailer for the Mario Kart game, I was super, emotional because I was playing Mario Kart 8 when it first came out. So, it kind of took me back to that, so I really wanted to be here.
For more information, go to Nintendo.com.
Heck of a celebration there, and we'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com. All right, the drums and the bass means it's time to do a little bit of financially speaking. I'm Mitch English. Stay-at-home moms may be one step closer to being on the payroll for running the house. Here with more insight is our money expert, Amanda Webster. All right, she, of course, is the Chief Revenue Officer at Accruity. Amanda, thanks for joining us again this week. And I got to tell you, as we get closer to start paying for parents to stay at home, if this actually becomes a reality, do you think that the stay-at-home CEO would actually become the next trend job maybe on LinkedIn?
I'm actually surprised it isn't already there, right? I mean, running a household is really no different than running a business, in my opinion. I've got 5 kids. It's like having staff.
I agree. And they all have different personalities. You got to deal with them all differently. And then they also have all kinds of other different needs, if you think about it, outside of it. And a lot of moms out there, and rightfully so, are actually advocating for the affordable child care over direct payments. Now, if you had to choose, would you want, say, a monthly check or a magical nanny who appears whenever needed? Which one would you want?
I mean, personally, I would want direct payments, but I think the overwhelming majority really need childcare and affordable childcare because one income households just aren't reality
you're
for
right.
most people. So.
Yeah, and when you hear things like schools kind of changing their hours because they realize there's more and more single parent families in it, and and kids not having anybody there, then you also think that's coupled with that is that one person is trying to do the job of two people, and it's very, very taxing. I know that, but there are ways that maybe they can actually become really get paid for it, if you will. And some creative solutions parents are actually using to manage childcare costs. Do you know of some creative solutions that people are using?
Yeah, I think it's similar to like the stay-at-home or the homeschool co-ops. There's a lot of neighborhood people that are coming together to almost share in the childcare to eliminate some of the costs so they can kind of have like groups together,
yeah.
which is great for kids as well. But side hustles are the biggest, growing thing. Becoming an entrepreneur part-time has been one of the biggest things that people are doing to offset all costs, especially, childcare and just family costs in general for those households that just can't afford it.
Okay, childcare is basically tax deductible. And stop me if I'm wrong, but also things like summer camps, are they tax deductible as well?
Anything childcare, if it's a childcare facility or a childcare organization, they can give you a form you can use to deduct. But, those are pennies compared to the overall cost, but they do help.
All right. Well, you're, as a mom, as you mentioned, what do you see really as some of the challenges of balancing that work and parenting life?
I think the biggest issue that we see in society is the ability to separate, right? Like the whole separation of church and state, right? It's like the separation of home and work. It's turning it on and off when appropriate and being able to focus, being able to, when you're on family time, when you're doing family things, that you're not worried about work, and your work should be respecting that time and not interrupting it. There's a lot of technology that make it so easy to interrupt that personal time and so easy to just go check that email. You got to separate it. I think that's one of the biggest challenges I see parents face is that separation so they can actually focus on family when they're on family time.
That makes a lot of sense too, because if you think I have a job and I go home and we think that there's a separation, but moms, they don't get that opportunity at all. Good insight there, and of course there's plenty more. And if you want to find out more on stay-at-home moms payment plan, you can head to our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Mitch, thank you. With summer break quickly approaching, now is the time for parents to talk with their healthcare providers about allergic reactions in children. And joining us to discuss the impact of severe allergies and how Neffy may help is allergy expert Dr. Nicole Chase. Dr. Chase, welcome. What is the day-to-day impact of severe allergies on young children and their families?
Hi, Andrea. Thanks for having me. So having severe allergies really is just an overlay to regular life for anyone that has a severe allergy. Really just thinking about every bite they take of food or every outdoor exposure they have. We know that most reactions come from either food allergies, venom allergies, medication allergies. So it's just a lot to think about if you have a life-threatening allergy.
Let's talk about some advice, some tips to navigate summer break and prepare for back to school with someone who suffers from severe allergies.
So one thing we encourage patients and families to do is really to always be prepared. This typically involves having a plan with your allergy provider as far as what to do if you come into contact with something you're allergic to, as well as having a treatment. And for us, the initial treatment for any type of allergic reaction is epinephrine. Now, typically, we've given this in the form of an auto-injector, which contains a needle, but I'm excited to be able to talk with you today specifically about Neffy, which is a needle-free treatment option. It's actually an epinephrine nasal spray.
So give us a little bit more info about Neffy and how it can help.
So Neffy is FDA approved for children and adults 4 years of age and older who weigh 33 pounds or more. It's very easy to use. It is a very small device, so easily carried, and you just depress the plunger to administer. And really the most common side effects include nasal discomfort, headache, and runny nose.
Dr. Chase, thank you. For more information, please visit Neffy.com. We'll make sure to share this on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Mitch, we'll send it over to you.
Thank you there, Jackson. We go to Houston again. A woman celebrated her cat's 15th birthday with a quinceañera and also helped save a local animal rescue group. Miranda Gonzalez said that she had been dreaming of throwing a party for her cat ever since getting the feline as a kitten 15 years ago. She said that she started planning last year during her cat's 14th birthday. Celebration also served as a fundraiser for animal rescue group called Almost Home Cat Haven. Just shows you there's good people out there doing good things. More Flash after this.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, hold on. Wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, dog and cat, it's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the music.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's the dark comedy of a small-town private investigator who delves into a series of strange deaths tied to a mysterious church.
Okay.
This is today's must-watch movie, Honey Don't.
The address you wanted? Thanks, MG. Honey, right? Love those click-clacking heels.
Honey O'Donoghue, to what do we owe the honor?
Can you tell me about this woman, Amanda Webster?
She got stabbed and stuffed in the car, I guess.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of cool.
Only when we submit to the will of God do we serve him. Hector, not in the sacristy.
You call me up and ask me would I like to go with you and see a movie.
The French, they're not happy.
Who's not happy?
First I say no, I got some plans for tonight.
Honey O'Donoghue, I ain't seen you in a minute.
Amanda Novotny, are you aware of any trouble she was in?
Will she owe you money?
She was afraid of something the cops couldn't help her with. I said I'd help. Cops said it was an accident.
That
was from her church in town. She never wore that in the house. You'll neither.
Why is a private investigator looking into a traffic fatality?
What can you tell me about?
Do you drink?
Heavily, it's a point of pride.
Should you and I discuss this over a drink?
Tuesdays I dry out.
Today's Wednesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Spooky.
Action. Duty. Submission. There is no higher service.
I help people, Miss O'Donoghue. I see a need and I fill it.
You see a need and you exploit it.
This is God's punishment.
And His will be done.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
Ooh, you're fascinating.
And you haven't even seen the riddle tattooed on my
Honey Don't. I like it.
I think it's cool. Chris Evans, I like him in movies as well. I want to appreciate you, all right, for tuning us in.
Yeah, dailyflashshow.com. If you missed a minute, you can check us out there.